Hello friends, and welcome to lesson 2.5. So one thing I wanted to make sure we went over today was that there are different ways to write parabolas. So far we've really become familiar with vertex form. All right, so we've done this whole a times x minus h squared plus k. Now when we went over the test, that extra credit problem, we talked about standard form. All right, and we get standard form when we FOIL this out, distribute, and combine like terms. All right, so that would be your general form for or the way that you would write standard form. So an example of standard form might be like 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. All right, it would be in that kind of a form. Then there's also intercept form, which we're gonna get into a little bit more when we talk about factoring, and they help you find the zeros of the graph. So there's different things, different benefits to each of these forms. Definitely vertex form. This one's great for, you guessed it, vertex, right? Intercept form is great for finding the x-intercepts. All right, so there's different benefits to these different forms. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to go from standard form to vertex form. Standard form is great for certain things. However, when you're kind of graphing and trying to, learn more about the parabola, vertex form tends to be a little bit more useful. So we're going to talk about how you go from standard form to vertex form. So here we have our standard form parabola, right? We're in that ax squared plus bx plus c. And we want to get it into vertex form, which is this y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. That's our vertex form. So how do we do this? Well, we're going to have to do that completing the square thing that we talked about last time. So bear with me. I know this is going to be really confusing when I do the first one, but you're going to get it. So I want you to write it like this. All right, do you see how I left some space there in between my 12 and my plus 40 in my parentheses? All right, we're going to put the x squared term and the x term inside of parentheses, and then we're going to put this constant on the outside. Then with these two terms here, we're going to complete the square, right? We practiced this yesterday. How would we complete the square here? Well, we would do negative 12 divided by 2, which gives us negative 6, and then we square it. So we would get plus 36. Now, since we just added in a 36, we have to subtract out a 36. All right, because 36 minus 36 is going to give us 0. So that means that we'll end up with the same equation that we started with. If we don't do this minus 36, all you did was add 36, and it's actually going to change the value of your function. So you want to make sure that when you add in something, you have to subtract it away from the constant. So now we're going to write this as a perfect square. We're going to do x, and then since this is a subtraction, we're going to do subtraction, and then our value is going to be 6, because 6 is the square root of that guy. We're going to add our little square. And then we need to combine these constants. We got 40 minus 36. We're going to get a plus 4. So that is our new function, x minus 6 squared plus 4. And if you look at this, it's actually pretty easy then to figure out what the vertex is. 6, comma 4, right? If you look at this guy, it's much more challenging to find the vertex. All right, so now let's go ahead. Let's complete another square. So we're going to write it the same way we did last time. We're going to do x squared plus 8x, leave our space, minus 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Let's square it. We get 16. So if we add 16, we need to subtract 16. Now we're going to write this as a perfect square. So x plus 4 squared minus 17. So we look. We've got our vertex, which is going to be negative 4, negative 17. Now let's try C. X minus 10, or x squared minus 10x, leave our space, plus 17. So we end up, negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. You square it, you get a plus 25. So if we add 25, we have to subtract 25. We end up with x minus 5 squared and then we combine positive 17 and negative 25, we end up with a minus 8. So then our new vertex is going to be, I shouldn't say our new vertex, our vertex is 5, negative 8. All right, so that is how you would, that is one method to finding the vertex from standard form, would be to complete the square. So we're going to do a lot of completing the square practice tomorrow. All right, so then we have multiply out the function to write it in standard form. So we went over one like this when we went over the extra credit from the quiz. We have to FOIL this guy out. So we get x minus 9 times x minus 9. X squared minus 9x minus 9x plus 81. We'll combine like terms. And then we still got to bring down this plus 8. So we'll add 8. So we end up with x squared minus 18 plus 89. Sorry, my 8s are bad today. Ooh, I'm sorry, 18x. Ooh, I forgot my x. My bad, guys. All right, last one. So again, we need to FOIL this out. Do not distribute before you FOIL. Please do not do that. All right, so we end up with like 2 times x plus 5. Wow. X plus 5. So we FOIL that out. We get x squared plus 5x plus 5x plus 25. And then we need to distribute out this 2. So we end up with x squared plus 10x plus 10x plus 50. Then we also have that minus 2 at the end. Combine like terms, we get x squared plus 2x squared plus 20x plus 50. 50 minus 2 is 48. So our answer there would be 2x squared plus 20x plus 48.